Hey, everybody, welcome to Comic Book Curation. I'm Polly, and joining me, as always, is Inquisitor Quiz. How you doing this week?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself, my man?
I'm doing fairly well, and rounding out our triumvirate of awesome, as always, is Jack from Bad Comic Reviews. Link in the description. Jack, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Keeping up on my protest watching. That's about it.
My protest watching. It's not like watching a Robin Redbreast, man. The slow descent of society in the Northwest is it's not like wilderness watching.
Well, when you can't do anything about it, sometimes you just gotta watch everything fall apart.
Well, before we get started on anything else, just general subject matter or anything of the kind, I think that chat and Jack, it's important that we discuss Quiz's slow descent into madness. It's sad but true. Now, I don't like to do these things publicly usually, but sometimes an intervention is called for. All right, hold on, let me just share this. Okay, look.
I'm master of my own domain.
Okay, chat. What we have here is a picture of Carol Danvers. Okay, you might recognize it from a previous Comic Book Curation thumbnail. You might have even seen it in the opening picture crawl montage deal. Now, Inquisitor, this guy right here, was heard to say there has never been a hot picture of Carol Danvers ever. And I reminded him of this piece of art by David Finch. Well done, David Finch. And he said, no, she's a stupid character and she's never looked good. Now, I ask you, is this man losing it? Is he slipping or what?
Terrible character.
Not when she's a badass agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. right here. She looks cool. David Finch rescued her. I mean, take a look.
No.
I have evidence.
Is better served being dead.
Are you sure that's not Agent 13?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
You just accepted it on the face of it, did you? See, well, what I actually did because of the angles of the way that she's standing and stuff, I forget how big this image is. Magnify it a little bit. Can you see? It says Carol Danvers, but the image has been mirrored. I flipped it, but it actually says Carol Danvers across her big old titties.
Oh,
big old bitties.
I didn't realize there were words there.
Right? But I mean, this is from the Ultimates universe where, she's reimagined not being Captain Marvel. Like all the characters are there. They're just, playing different roles and such. And Carol Danvers is Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. in that universe.
Dying and being killed in horrible, horrific ways.
Yeah. And this is an example of what, like, you guys know Linkara, right?
That's the guy with the fedora, right?
That is the guy with the fedora. I remember when he was doing a comic review, and I don't want to break that guy's balls too hard because, life does enough damage to that man.
Yeah.
But I remember him making a whole issue about suede hips on women. Why are women always standing with suede hips? And it's like, okay, look, Linkara, yeah, I need to explain something to you about the way that female anatomy works. See, women have hips. Now, I know you're used to, it's a lot of land-dwelling butter whales in your midst, okay? But when a woman stands on one leg, her hip tends to jut out in a way that it wouldn't with a man. I mean, that's what happens when you stand on one leg when you're a woman. Now, not intensely so, but these are all stylized characters. It's like, why do they have to be so thick to life? Because their hips are thwayed out. And I mean, this stands out to me as like a good example of that. It's like, she's not really overly exaggeratedly standing there. I think that you're just partaking of this woman is fit and you can see that she has muscles and like she's not a big blob. So, oh my God, misogyny.
Look, first of all, where are her organs? Second of all, I've never watched any of Linkara's videos.
Really, none?
I only know him from, documentaries mocking him, like the ones Medicare did and some of those other guys. So I don't know anything about his views or anything, but isn't that dude gay?
No, he's married.
Oh.
I mean, not that married man can't be gay, but No, he's not he's not gay at all.
Well, I guess first impressions can be wrong.
I love how you not too subtly there, Polly, put in the jab at his lisp.
Where?
You were like,
Did.
women can't have hips.
He doesn't. Okay, all jokes aside, he has a lisp.
Oh yeah, he does, a really prominent one.
Yeah, even I knew that.
No, okay. I used to watch Linkara because when he was doing comic content, like on comic books. I didn't always agree with him, but some of his stuff was mildly funny. I would never say the man was laugh out loud funny, but there was a mild every now and then. His series on Frank Miller is really funny. I mean, I love Frank Miller, and the whole series is dedicated to just making fun of the man. And that's funny, but he decided to go hardcore SJW, and like that ruined so many things. And then he started just doing Poker Man streams, and
yeah, he kind of lost the plot.
Yeah,
like a lot of those Channel Awesome people did. Yeah,
and spent how much fucking time dedicated to doing reviews of not Powerpuff Girls, Power Rangers. I mean, same thing. No,
oh, not Powerpuff Girls is good.
Yeah, and he even ended up becoming a meme, right? Remember that? It's like every week I have to remember the mockery he had. He got so angry because people were bugging about, when are you going to come out with content? When's the next episode of the Power Rangers review ready to come out? He goes, I have to watch each one, take my notes, and
it'll be out when it's out, and we love
you have no obligation to my content, or I have no obligation to provide you with content. You have no right to my content. It will come out when it's out. I mean, imagine somebody getting upset with someone not producing content on a regular schedule. I would be angry 24 hours a day. I mean, shit, man. People, it's the internet. People are going to fucking complain. I mean, do you see me getting bent out of shape because people are regularly complaining about my irregular schedule?
Well, glad to know my concerns are so non-founded, Polly. Ugh.
You're the last one I'm going to listen to. Fuck, you complain about it? All right, anyway.
That's true. That's true. I don't listen to me either.
So what?
I listen to you. I just ignore everybody.
So what do we have going on this week? I was telling these guys before we went live, felt like organizing articles for this week. I was putting together a litany for a death watch. Fuck, the industry's depressing. And I mean, it has been for a while, but oh my God. The COVID, post-COVID schemes to keep our business going, which is really like to make the corporation that owns us not look at us as a money debt hole. So let's come up with something to start bringing in revenue, no matter how bad of an idea it is, because we're all incredibly incompetent. You ever get the idea that maybe the people that run comic book companies shouldn't be comic book artists? Looking at you, Quesadilla. I mean, artists
are notoriously really terrible businessmen. I think the only one that can be safely said that is an exception to the rule is Todd McFarlane.
Yeah, he probably just hired a really good money manager. Real quick. Thank you, Cryptic. I took this from a dying drug user. He was too busy trying to stop the bleeding from the veins. Could have helped him stay alive, but his wallet was exposed. Ah, well, here's a $5. Thanks, Cryptic. That's haunting.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, RV Adar hit me up with a Streamlabs donation sometime when I wasn't streaming. And I'm always thankful, but it bugs me because then I have to thank the person at the beginning of the very next stream that I'm on, be it Comic Book Curation or Norbar or Weebos or whatever the fuck. Thank you, RVA Dar, for the $5. And he says, get off your ass and get a fucking computer. Okay, I will. I love RVA Dar. He's always subtle in his approach.
Fucking do it.
Do it, man.
Just do it.
I know somebody that's trying to build their own computer right now. And you hear that?
Yeah. I have no idea what the fuck
those
that
are
is.
Birds, man.
Really?
Yeah,
how big are they?
Sounds like someone's scrubbing dishes.
No, those are birds. Like there's the nest somewhere in my neighbor's backyard, and I've got my window open, and I'm right beside the window because it's hot as fuck. And those, I don't know, the last few days, man, I think they're having a territorial fight out there. I mean, listen to that. I mean, I've got a noise gate on, and you guys can still fucking... Imagine that shit popping off when you're just dozing off to sleep, and all of a sudden, squawk, 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 squawk. Jesus, fuck.
At least you don't have what I had to endure for 2 years straight, which was a cardinal that would return every day and peck at the window.
Yeah, that's worse. Like right at the window.
Yeah. I was. It got to the point where I was considering getting my gun.
Wow.
I'd make 9mm cardinal puree.
It's usually why you use a shotgun for birds.
No, really a 9mm bullshit. No, 22 birdshot is what you use. Because that way you're not going to penetrate the window when you shoot it from the outside. I gave way too much thought to killing birds, all right, when this was happening.
Clearly. All right.
Should have just let him in. Clearly he wanted in.
Right?
He's like, let me in, Inquisitor.
Okay, let's start with this story here because why not? The industry's going to hell and everything related to it. Share a screen with you guys and then with chat over here. Rumor, Donald Glover, Dong Lover as we've come to know him, is set to return to Star Wars as Pando Calrissian. New Star Wars rumor details that actor Dong Lover will reprise his role as Pando Calrissian from Solo, a Star Wars story, in his own series.
Thanks, Disney.
Yeah, right. That's what everyone was demanding off of the high-flying success of Solo, a Star Wars story. Everybody wanted a spin-off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you just call the series Lando anyway? Why would you call it like the Calrissian Adventures or something? Like just Lando. The rumor comes from Kessel Run Transmission hosts Corey and Noah Outlaw, who previously scooped that a Bad Batch animated series was in development. Disney would later confirm the series is, in fact, in development. There he is, Lando, looking very pan. You know.
So is this going to be a cartoon?
But that's
Could be a comic.
Yeah, well, it just says series. Corey dropped the rumor saying we've heard Donald Glover is coming back as Pando in his own series. This is clearly a transitioning woman that's coming in to shoot at him because, you know, he'll fuck anything. Yeah. We can finally announce that Donald Glover will be reprising his role as Pando in a future Star Wars series. What do you guys think of the news? Yeah, tell us what kind of series. Jesus Christ. Outlaw added, so they were kind of they had to work with him. They had to?
They had to.
Okay.
Being forced. Yeah. Gun to the head.
And we saw this all the time. It's a joke now on our show. That the Brinks truck that they dumped on Donald Glover's lawn to do this show was huge. Okay. YouTuber Grace Randolph had previously scooped in April that there would be 2 Lando Calrissian shows. Come on, guys. Details. Live action? What? As you can see, it is double Lando on Disney Plus. Look, double Lando.
So it's going to be either a short form TV show or an animated series. And
one show will be taking place after Solo with Donald Glover starring, maybe looping in Emilia Clarke's and Darth Maul, who of course cameoed at the end of Solo. All right.
Fuck off.
Yeah, nobody cared still. Randolph continued, there is some discussion about giving her own show, but I can only see that happening maybe if Donald Glover's conversations fall through. I thought a Brinks truck was dropped off. Wait, you didn't take the money? I wouldn't do 2 spin-offs from Solo. That sounds ridiculous. 1. Come on, sounds ridiculous. Rudolph then added, the other Lando show would of course be after The Rise of Skywalker. Oh, the other most successful Disney film. Jesus. She elaborated, yes, a whole show based on that single exchange between Billy D. Williams as Lando and Jannah, where he offers to help her find out where she came from, and maybe she is his daughter? Question mark. Look at this. This Jack, fuck off. Nobody has access to your super cool cane sugar Coke, all right? Look at this cover. Lando. Double or nothing. Oh yeah, how'd that sell for you guys? Did it do well? It didn't do well, did it? And in case you guys didn't notice, the ugly ass Millennium Falcon remake is reflected. See that?
Yeah. Trying to pretend it's not there.
You know what it
Wait, is it?
Yeah.
Holy shit, look at that.
You know what enrages me about this the most? Don Glover's getting money for this.
Lots.
Well, I don't know. They're using his likeness, so.
Lots. Apparently. They keep alluding to the fact that they keep on dumping truckfuls of money at him.
Yeah. I mean, they're not giving money to the guy's name I can't remember that played Solo.
Yeah.
And they're not giving that guy any money.
Well, yeah, because, apparently he was borderline retarded.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a rap career and where he's talking about how racist America is and et cetera, et cetera.
Rap career? Come on.
Yeah, but you don't listen to the childish Gambino, you fucking fraud. Not you fraud. Donald Glover fraud.
The youthful clog is not on my my list of things to listen to.
Yeah, I don't blame you. There's a lot better stuff out there to be listening to. He continued, Lucasfilm is planning to have Donald Glover reprise his role from Solo. It's what everyone's waiting for. Well, Solo wasn't the massive box office smash that Disney wanted. Glover's portrayal was well received. Was it? By who?
No, it wasn't.
20 people on Twitter?
Look, have you guys seen Solo?
No.
Yes.
Okay, I did.
Yeah,
I saw it in the theater.
I'm so sorry.
I didn't pay for a ticket. I got a pass. Look, I thought the movie was at best a decent space heist movie if it hadn't been labeled Star Wars and none of the characters were named after Star Wars characters. But I thought Donald Glover was probably the best actor in the movie. Which isn't exactly a high bar, but I thought he did a passable job as like.
How was Therm's scissor punch?
The guy that played Han Solo?
No, there's the alien sitting at the while they're gambling. He was stuffing his face. He looks like a big lobster. His name's Therm Scissor Punch.
They actually
I was
named
unaware
him.
of that.
Yeah, they actually named him. He was part of the promotional stuff for that shitty movie.
They name everybody so they can make a toy out of it. It's just genius marketing.
Yeah. That's how we know who Bosk and IG-88 are, except they were cool characters.
Yeah, they looked awesome at least.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought the movie was at best a mediocre film, and it should never have been a Star Wars movie. So, but I thought that Donald Glover did an okay job. He's a decent actor. And for what he had to work with, I thought he did a fine job. It's not stellar. You're not going to remember it, but he was okay.
Well, I give him a lot of shit because he's a terrible rapist.
Oh, yeah, he absolutely is. And he's no Billy D. Williams because he didn't drink a single Colt 45 or smack a bitch up.
Right?
So, but if you're going to pick somebody for a modern Star Wars movie, they could have done worse. It could have been like DMX or Common. They like to put them in these low budget shit movies.
Hey man, you know what? I actually would want to see Common in a Star Wars movie. Fuck yeah.
No, Little John.
What?
Why Common of all people?
I really liked him in Smoking Aces. I think he can be a good actor so long as he has decent material.
Needs a good director.
I don't know, man. I'm always going to be biased when it comes to like, I'm a singer, I'm an actor, I'm a performer, I also write poetry. Hey, buy my children's book. You know, like I'm all the things. I just have an inherent distaste towards people who do that. Like, what's that crazy bitch that people think is hot but really isn't? She turned into a coke whore.
That
narrowed it down.
She was in that movie with the twins and they faked out the parents. What's it called? She was a
parent? Are you talking about that bitch from Mean Girls?
Was she in Mean Girls? I don't know. The one, she's got red hair, and she turned into a serious Kokor. She went straight downhill, and everyone thinks she's hot. And she's like not, man. It's all makeup and lighting. Lindsay Lohan.
Scarlett
Lindsay
Johansson.
Lohan.
Oh.
That's it. See, I got
that's what I was talking about.
Shit, there's ham and beans and Deco with the answer. See, they knew who I was talking about. Look at even Jack Gunsky knew. Yeah. The redhead that everyone thinks is hot, but really isn't, turned into a Kokor. See, they knew.
Redhead?
Maybe. I mean, there's no telling. I'm not sure how.
Oh yeah, there's other carpet matches drapes.
Oh really? Okay.
Look, yeah, I don't know.
Googling now.
See, Polly, you mentioned people that do lots of different things, and I feel the need right now to point out that I have face masks on my Teespring store. So, shameless chill aside, Lindsay Lohan back in the day was cute, but
I don't want to hear
Coke.
about what you think she looked like as a child, man.
No, when she was in Mean Girls, when she was like 18 or 19.
Was she Mean Girls?
She was pretty. Yeah, she was the main character in Mean Girls. Her and Rachel make forehead.
I still think you're over exaggerating the size of Rachel McAdams' forehead.
Rachel McAdams has a big forehead. It's just hidden better than Ellen Page's.
Oh yeah, hold on for a quick second. Thank you, Mr. Scott, for the donation. I still think they should have done a Dash Render movie instead of a solo movie. Less expectations for Dash Render, and it could have been a fun space heist movie.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, it's a fair argument. But I mean,
What is Dash Render?
it's just Stairware's character.
Oh, okay.
What it was a total Disney move to do it. Everybody knew why they were doing it. It's the most popular Star Wars character before that was consistently ranked as Han Solo, more than Luke Skywalker, whatever, because he's the dashing pirate. He's the crook with a heart of gold. He's, what's not to like about his character. Harrison Ford played him in a really memorable, charismatic way. So yeah. And it's like, so we're going to do so we've done this one story. Now we want to do like standalone Star Wars movies. And so we do individual character. The obvious go-to thing is we're either going to do Obi-Wan Kenobi or we're going to do Han Solo. Oh, let's do a Han Solo movie because that's the most popular character amongst fans. And they totally Disneyed it right up.
Honestly, but why did
Thank you, Mr. Scott.
Han Solo get sidelined in his own movie?
I think that Solo was just to soften the blow for when they released the real hit, which is going to be a Salacious Crumb movie. And it'll be adorable.
So, wait a minute. Why did you bring up Lindsay Lohan?
I don't know. I don't remember.
You brought her up.
No. I'm not the one who brought her up.
I think you did. Is about how she's.
Oh, wait a minute. I remember now. See, I drink. You guys got to help me out with these kind of things.
Oh yeah.
Lindsay Lohan, if you don't remember, thought she was a singer after she was a child actor, and then she thought and like that was a totally failed career. Good job. But they promoted the shit out of her in every Access Media Shiltastic magazine where it's like, oh, Lindsay Lohan, you be the new pop queen and blah, blah, blah. They promoted the shit out of her, photo shoots, the whole 9 yards. And yeah, your music sucks because it was written for you and produced for you and edited in studio to make it sound like you could actually hold a note. And then it failed. So it's like, oh, I'm an actor again. Okay, fine. You're an actor. And somebody said, I don't like creative people. No, I'm fine with creative people. It's like, I don't know. Like I said, it's a bias I have. Not I automatically hate any musician who decides to act or any actor who decides to come out with music. It just, I don't know. That I am the every person thing kind of fucking bugs me. I don't know why.
Disney has a habit of that, though. It's their shtick.
Yeah.
Look at Britney Spears, Ashley Simpson, Miley Cyrus. They've all done multitasking things. You could even go back to like Bruce Willis and Eddie Murphy. They have all done that.
Oh, yeah.
They've all released music albums.
Bruce Willis did have an album.
Yeah,
Bruno. Return of Bruno.
I would say, Polly, that you need to let Will Smith go. He's living in your head rent free, man.
Well, it's funny you say that. At this point, like, I don't like Will Smith. It's not that I don't think he's not very good at what he does. He is. He just always plays Will Smith. And I think with that said, you know, he needs to be put in roles where he can, you know, run that and make a big deal out of that. And certain roles he just rocks because he's playing Will Smith. And oh, fuck yeah, that character totally calls for that. You're not Deadshot, bro. That's it. Like, you're not. I don't take you seriously at all. Fuck off.
No, he's terrible as Deadshot. Like, I think Will Smith is overall a mediocre actor. Not gonna even dress it up. I don't like him as an actor that much. He'll always be the Fresh Prince who thinks that parents just don't understand, and that's all he will ever be to me. He's been mediocre in most of his roles, and I think that he just plays himself. And if I want to see that, I'll watch a Mickey Rourke film.
So at this point, though, after what Jada Smith did to him, I actually feel bad for him. So it's like, oh, you know, you're hating on Will Smith right now. I'm feeling pretty bad for Will Smith, honestly. Like Jada done him wrong, man.
Don't air your dirty laundry in public if you don't want to. You know, that's a sympathy play. I don't feel sorry for him if he's going to fucking air all his business out.
But he didn't air any. He didn't air shit. It was Jada that did
live.
Well,
yeah, she is a bitch, and that's what I'm saying. Like, live without his knowledge. Like, oh, it's time for some healing. We need to go to the red table. She writes on Twitter. And oh, by the way, I was getting railed by this guy. He's 21 years younger than me, and you know him. And since we're doing it live on TV, you can't like jump across the table and slap me across the face like I so richly deserve for publicly embarrassing both of us like this.
Yeah, I would have walked out. That's insane.
I was number one, the very most important lesson to learn from the Fresh Prince of Depression here. Get a prenup. And if shit like this happens, you just sit there and say, okay, thanks. I ain't giving you shit in the divorce, bitch. Bye.
Well, unfortunately, you know, who knows what kind of prenup they have or whatever. But I think she did it like that, where it's like, okay, fine, divorce me. I'll take half of all your fucking shit because you know that I'm not worth nothing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she's not. But, you know, see, that's the thing is that if you have a prenup, you can sit there and say, hey, man, you fucked the pool boy. Bye. You ain't getting shit.
Right.
Real quick. Thank you, Mr. Scott. Joe Pesci singing. Awesome. Lindsay Lohan, not so much.
Oh, Storm Scissor Punch.
Yeah. Have you ever heard Joe Pesci sing, Quiz?
No.
You know, he's like a blues guy. He's like a folk blues guy.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah, I know. It's a little hard to imagine until you hear it and you're like, oh, this is what you do, huh, Pesci?
What's he do? Like, yes, two of Utes came into the store.
Utes.
No, that was a put on.
Was it?
I'm slowly starting to suspect that's how Joe Pesci actually talks, Polly.
Yeah.
But it's not though. If you just watch him in an interview, he doesn't actually talk that way, man.
He's acting, Polly.
Yeah, where's the actual act? I suspect it's for the cameras for when he's getting interviewed.
Yeah, exactly.
See, god damn it. This is what happens when you've got a shitty meme folder. I'm looking for a picture of Loey Lynn's hand. I was looking for Loey Lynn's hand. And I can't find her. And it's great because she's looking like really coked the fuck out. All right. Anyway, so I think this relates to comic books somehow. Right. Will Smith, because he played Deadshot in a comic book movie. There, it relates.
There you go.
Yeah. A very bad comic book.
Yes.
It was okay.
No, you're wrong.
Okay. It was fine. I love how we have to play like 12 Degrees of Kevin Bacon with comic books on this show.
Let's talk about George Lucas replacing Kathleen Kennedy. Unfortunately, it's just a rumor as it stands right now, but let's see where this goes.
You lose Polly.
Nope.
What's the problem?
Oh, no. Thought you just ended a sentence very abruptly.
Oh, okay. Or maybe my mic cut out. I can't rely on my audio. Rumor: George Lucas to replace Kathleen Kennedy and launch this.
Yeah. I think your mic came unplugged. Check your USB port because you're kind of muffled.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
There you
No,
go.
all right.
That's
That's
better.
much better.
Yeah, my USB ports are janky. Making that mistake.
Needs more duct
Oh,
tape.
holy shit. Point Curation. Where the fuck have you been at, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you very much for the $4 donation. Dollars. Also, check out the channel, Super Spin Move. Check out the channel, Super Spin Move. Okay, cool. I will. I've got it in my list here. Thank you very much, Point Curation. It's good to see you again. A new rumor indicates that George Lucas will replace Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy and launch a new era of Star Wars called the Star Wars verse. Does he have the authority to do that? I thought he sold
Fire
it.
her and hire him on. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's going to be what they're going to have to do is they have to hire him.
Yeah, let's see where this rumor goes. The rumor comes from YouTube overlord Doomcock. Oh, Doomcock's in on it. Oh, shit. Doomcock prefaces this new rumor by saying, quote, as with all the rumors originating inside Disney and or Lucasfilm, I cannot independently confirm what I'm about to tell you. So I urge you to regard all of what follows as rumor and take it with a grain of salt. And then he gets into the meat of the rumor. Doomcock explains one of my agents, Jesus Christ. One of your agents, which is...
Yeah, what are you, the shadow?
Right. I mean, it'd be cool if you were, but... one of my agents asked me, of our informants, are rumors about Kathleen Kennedy leaving BS, or is there something to it? He's got agents and informants. I wonder if he's got assets, too. He continued, the informant replied, no, that is most assuredly not BS. My source then asked the question point blank, is Kathleen Kennedy gone? And the informant replied, yes, Disney and Kathleen Kennedy have come to an arrangement and Kennedy will be soon departing from Lucasfilm. Doomcock elaborated. He then stated, indeed, in practical terms, she is already effectively out. Well, I thought that was the idea that everybody understood from the extension of her contract during the sale of, during the business negotiations that Disney was in. We don't want anything. You don't want to replace top people, executives, when you're trying to purchase a major company and having to pass it through the IRS and the federal government as being a legitimate purchase. You don't want to disrupt anything. So they extended her contract by 2 years, which is a very, very short term for that extensive of a contract just to get past the point of the business negotiations. Remember all this?
Mm-hmm.
Am I the only one that remember? Okay, fine.
No, yeah, no, I remember that.
Yeah, okay. My source requested details regarding what terms of this arrangement effectively are, but this informant refused to elaborate. Well, man, see, you're not coming out with enough money. You need to pay your people. Later in the video, Doomcock would discuss another rumor, prefacing it by saying you should take this with a truckload of fucking salt, sprinkled on salt, water taffy, with anchovies, and all of the salt that you're going to find in Kathleen Kennedy's cooch. He then added, I have been informed by another source that Kathleen Kennedy is in talks with Bad Robot to begin destroying things for them. That's so mean.
Is Bad Robot a demolition company now? I mean, JJ is trying to destroy his own company, but you know.
Yeah. Remember that diversity and inclusion handbook they gave out to employees? Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah, great.
I still want to see, you know, with all the communist rhetoric that was in that thing, JJ, I want to see you start paying your gaffers as much as you get paid. Otherwise, you're a hypocrite.
Firmly Rodline says, but his informant was Mike Zero. Yeah. The rumor mill, comprised of 3 people who don't know that they're just talking to each other. Yeah. It's kind of like Twitter. It's a whole bunch of news entertainers talking to each other, thinking that they're getting scoops, and it's like, but you're just passing around the same stories to each other. Anyway, he then discussed another rumor. Oh, wait a minute, I read that. No, wait a minute, I haven't. This really big news here is a rumor I received 10 days ago. Disney wants George Lucas to take the reins from Kathleen Kennedy and save Star Wars. Well, yes, my friends, 10 days ago, I received a rumor from my source. Disney investors have been trying to get George Lucas back for a few months now. Up until a few weeks ago, Lucas would change the subject when asked about returning, avoiding the topic, or responding in a non-committal way. He continued, well, about 3 weeks ago, they asked Lucas point blank what it would take to get you back on board and heading up Lucasfilm. Well, they already gave him over $1 billion. I don't really know what else they have to offer him.
4, wasn't it?
I don't remember. I just remember that that $1 billion was involved at all, and I was like, Jesus Christ, George. Yeah, but I don't know. What do they have to offer him? I don't know. Saving his legacy from these people that seem destined to fuck up everything they touch. Reverse King Midas. Everything they touch turns to shit.
4.05 billion with a B.
If he waits long enough, at this rate, Disney will go bankrupt and he can just buy it back for half the price.
Right? Venture capitalist, that shit, George.
He added, allegedly, George Lucas said this. If I were to return, I have 4 conditions that would be met. Really? Condition 1, get me my sequel trilogy. Condition 2, I have full creative power until I decide to hand it off. Condition 3, Kathleen Kennedy is gone. And condition 4, Disney agrees to never mess with the original trilogy, leaving it untouched. Well, number 4 certainly sounds like George Lucas.
No. George Lucas absolutely would not say that because he already did that himself.
That's what I mean. Like, I want complete creative control over how fucked with the original trilogy will be, you know? Yeah. You can't release the original theatrical edition ever. I still get to, no, all you can see are my special editions forever.
Yeah, you only see my really shitty CG edits.
What's going on there, old guy gamer? How's it going? He then stated, reportedly, Lucas is out of communication. None of this is negotiable. And then he concluded this section by saying, my sources were told that the response to George's ultimatum was, so when do you start? Later, Doomcock would detail what the structure of Lucasfilm would look like if Lucas returns. He explains, I am informed that the current proposal is George Lucas would be the head of Lucasfilm. Jon Favreau would be put in charge of developing original content for Disney+, while a third, as yet unnamed person, would be put in charge of movie production at Lucasfilm. Well, considering we got 2 straight white cis males, it would have to be some kind of disabled POC who is a lesbian.
Again, Kathleen Kennedy's out, dude.
She ain't no POC. She is disabled, but
no. Well, yeah, but no, I mean those standards being met, you know, they'd only have to be worried about being met if Kathleen Kennedy was there.
Yeah. I don't know. I think all of Disney's on that track. I mean, when you have pride characters in the Disney daily parades at Disneyland and Disney World, I mean, it's not like they're exactly against the ideas of wokeness in a corporate culture way.
Yeah. That's true. I'll say there's the added other thing, you know, there's an article I sent you in our group chat a long time ago. Marvel has a whole fucking article dedicated specifically to the LGBT characters and pride in Marvel Comics. So yeah, it's not all that hard to think that that's probably part of their corporate values at this point.
Meta Winter asks, why do I insist on putting the Japanese flag in your title every week? Because Japanese supremacy, am I right? It's a red dot, and admittedly the Japanese flag is a little more than a red dot, but it doesn't have a rectangle around it. So I mean, it's kind of the Japanese flag. I mean, if you'll notice on the series that I really got to get back to, movies I barely remember, it's a blue dot. See, thematic consistency. I don't know why. I don't know why it's there. I put it there because I was surprised that was even a thing in the what's it called, UTC code or whatever the fuck. They have colored dots. Like, all right, fine, fuck it, I'll put it in.
Well, you put the red dot in there because it's, you know, live red dot.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And it's only for that. I don't put it on anything else goes up on my channel. So B Junkie thought it was an Indian thing. See, Jack, you're not alone. I'm surprised that a lot of people assumed it was indie, but all right. Doomcock explained a brand new source, a source who claims to actually know Lucas. Oh my God, someone actually knows someone that's telling you stuff. And I'm not going to say anything about this source. Tells me that Lucas is happy with his life at the moment. Billions of dollars? Why would he be happy?
4.8 billion?
Well,
4.08.
You know, before he even had the billions, though, I mean, Lucas had money like fucking crazy. You know what I mean? So it's like at that point, isn't it really just about like, don't fuck up my creations? You know, like
Well, I've got to wonder, since he sold off Star Wars to Disney, does he have to change the name of Skywalker Ranch?
I'm sure that was worked out in the contract.
Can you imagine the details of that contract if you were to see it? It was probably thick as a fucking phone book.
Yeah.
What's a phone book?
See, back in the day, they used to take wood from trees and turn it into pulp and press it real thin. And they called it paper. Now, on this paper that would be sewn together into these things called codex, or plural codices, they would print everyone's name and number so you could look them up.
What a waste of paper.
Well, they used really thin paper, so the book didn't end up being too thick.
Nope, sounds like a scam. I'm not buying it. This sounds made up. Look, I have thoughts on this, but probably round out the article first.
Yeah, okay, here we go. In my opinion, this news source, whatever, Lucas might consult, even write scripts, blah, blah, Cock concluded. Well, on the other hand, the source, so you covered your base in both ways. He might do it or he might not. Well, yeah, that would be true whether or not you had sources or no, but whatever. So there you go. So what are your thoughts there, Jack? What's up, Jordan?
Quiz, do you want to go first or shall I start ranting first?
No, go right ahead, my man.
All right, look, I believe about a third of this. My theory is that some executive found out there was a Lucas cut, because they don't pay that close of attention if it's not one of your projects. They saw the Lucas cut, they saw it was better than what was released, and they got pissed. I don't think they're going to hire Lucas back because he's got more money than Jeebus at this point. And he's probably just spending time in his money pit relaxing. So I think what they're going to try and do is get him to be a consultant and review stuff and like give advice, that sort of thing. Say, no, that's fucking dumb. Don't do that. And I think they're going to put Favreau in charge. But I do think Kathleen Kennedy is probably out the door. So I think that part's right, that she's out the door and that they're really upset with her for all the nonsense that she's caused, especially with Last Jedi. And they probably did find out there's a better cut and we'll never, ever see it. I don't think they'll ever show us that one, but I don't think Lucas is coming back. I think that's just rumor and wishful thinking on the part of fans. But I'd be willing to bet that the Lucas cut does exist and it's different than what was released. Supposedly 40% different, which would be significant. And I believe a lot more would have been explained in that one. But is it better? I don't know, but it could be a whole lot worse. So I'd be interested to see it. If they released it, I'd probably check it out. But I don't think Lucas is coming back. I think that's nerd wish fulfillment. And at best, he'll come back as a occasional consultant. And that'll be about it. Somebody to throw ideas out, have them make changes, that sort of thing. Almost like a script supervisor. But I think Favreau is going to get put in charge.
See, the last part of what you said is the one that I agree with. Because it's not like Lucas has... Ultimately, they're about money, right? Always. And Kathleen Kennedy hasn't been doing very well in that regard. Like, yes, they've all been profitable films. And people point that out. And they say, well, it's not like they didn't make money. Well, no, they did make money. But not nearly what they were counting on it making. And this is fucking mega corporation Disney. And they're not about making money. They're about making sure their stock price remains where it's at. You know what I'm talking about here? Because that's where it's really at for a publicly traded corporation like Disney. And when you look at their quarterly returns, their only moneymaker is the fucking parks. And COVID-19 hit. Yeah. So they've got deep considerations. I mean, seriously, the only thing that was making money was their theme parks. Jesus Christ. And COVID hits. And the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opens to no one giving a fuck and nobody showed up. Jesus. And
they're bleeding money.
Yeah.
My brother went down to the parks for his anniversary in December. And he said there was no lines at Galaxy's Edge. He said it was like nobody there. So they got to do all the stuff because there was no fucking people. And so he's like, yeah, I don't even like the new stuff, but we were there. Already paid for it.
I mean, I think what's important to remember is that half the time leaks aren't actually leaks. They're just intentional leaks because that's how
testing.
Yeah, that's how shill media and access media works. And what you have going on most recently with Kathleen Kennedy and her little protege there, she knows she's on the way out. And how can you tell? Well, because the short term of her contract during the time when Disney was negotiating that massive purchase, and the way that her stuff is performed and underperformed, I guess is a better way of saying it. So she gets her protege in there to make sure that her vision of Star Wars films are going to continue to be made, and announces them through Variety. Was it Variety or Hollywood Reporter? I forget. That, oh, there's going to be a whole new series that's happening, and it's going to be a female focused, almost Star Wars based sitcom. Remember that? And it put Feige, CEO of Disney, in the hard position of like, what are you going to do? Shut it down? Misogynist? It's like, but you didn't even okay this with anybody. There's no storyboards, no casting, no pitches that anybody had heard. She just went to news media and said, yeah, we've got this thing and it's ready to go, rolling the dice that they weren't going to cancel it. And they didn't. They greenlit it after she did that. I think all of this stuff is just that's happening now with Doomcock, and Doomcock does have legit sources because he reports things, and it's not like it's 100% wrong. He's got a pretty good hit rate with all of this stuff. I agree with you. I think George Lucas's name is going to be attached only for the sake of credibility for it. The guy who's actually successful and a moneymaker is Jon Favreau, and that's going to be the guy in creative charge. And Lucas will be there as a consultant for the sake of the man himself, who's inseparably connected to Star Wars, is associated with this thing. And Kathleen Kennedy, the enemy of all creativity, is gone.
Yeah, well, the series that she greenlit, they can cancel that fairly easily. They'll just say that the pilot didn't work well with test audiences, and they decided not to do it. They'll let a couple episodes get filmed and then scrap it.
You know what's frightening in this time of streaming? You can let a season that you can let a series that you don't want to run for an entire season of like 10 to 13 episodes. You're willing to dump that much money because it's just streaming content, right? Who cares?
Yeah, and it'll give them content for it. But I don't think that's really going to last at all. I think they're going to they'll be like the Batwoman thing. They'll just, whatever, it exists. We'll just throw it over here and ignore it. But I think they're trying to, after that stunt, they definitely want to get rid of her. At least in my opinion, I think that's the writing on the wall, because they were pretty clearly pissed about that.
Yeah. No question about that.
So I think they'll just buy out her contract and tell her to go away, and she'll go ruin stuff with J.J. Abrams somewhere else.
There isn't even a need to buy her out. Her contract was so short term that they it wasn't even a new contract. It was just an extension with extra bonuses of her old contract. Let's just wait it out. It's going to be done in like a year, less than that now.
Yeah, but think of the damage she could do between now and then.
But yeah, she already. That's not a bad point. She already did like self greenlit a multi-million-dollar series that she had never mentioned to anybody.
I'd be willing to bet there's some sort of parachute clause in there that they could get rid of her early if they want to. They'd be fools not to put that in after all the money she's lost them. So I'm willing to bet that they're going to tell her to go pound sand somewhere else with JJ and shuffle her off quietly, probably in the dead of night, and just maybe they won't say anything till her contract's up, but I'd be willing to bet she's on her way out the door before that contract's over.
You know what kills me is that, like, okay, let's just say that J.J. Abrams hires her. To me, that will be the final proof that Kathleen Kennedy has, like, people kidnapped that she's threatening to kill. Like, what does she have on these people? Like, she doesn't have the most stellar reputation in Hollywood. Like, they put her in charge of Lucasfilm because of this career she had with Steven Spielberg. But clearly that success from working with Steven Spielberg didn't cross over to being the head of Lucasfilm. I mean, obviously. And people talk about, oh, J.J. Abrams is going to hire her. If he does, it's proof that she's got something on somebody. Like, a lot of somebody's. I mean, why the fuck would you keep highlighting? I mean, there's the notion of failing upwards, but my fucking God.
Look, even Roger Corman worked with some big names in the industry. It's about prestige and name recognition. You don't have to be good at your job to be, regarded as somebody of power and influence. Plus, she's super duper woke, so that'll get her some backers by itself. And she can play the victim card if they do get rid of her, make a big public stink about it, and be like, oh my God, they fired me because I'm a woman and I was making empowered stuff. They don't like that. And then Gwyneth Paltrow will just goop all over her. You're welcome for that one. I've been saving that. I should have that written down too.
Well, I'm at
You
it.
come with prepared jokes sometimes.
I get bored.
I'm still trying to get over the T1000 giant testicle running thing.
Yeah, I'm real proud of that one. I'm not gonna.
Well, it was I can't get rid of it because I actually formed a mental image of it. Remember when they were chasing the cop car or the security car when they were getting out of the mental prison when they grabbed Sarah Connor?
Yeah,
and,
yeah, that's exactly the sequence I thought of.
Right.
Too.
It's like, what, the T1000's running and he makes the giant hook hands and grabs into the back of the car. And I'm imagining these giant balls running down the street. It just, I've never been able
to hear do. It's just big testicles, big hairy balls opening the door. Yeah, it's all.
Okay, well, I'm at it. Hey, Far, how's it going? Hey, Zelthor, how's it going? Hey, LG, how's it going? And Zelthor says, did you hear about the kidnapping at UCLA? No.
Was it anyone we know?
Actually, I know a couple of people at UCLA, but I don't think it was any of them. They're just students. Let's hope it's not an Antifa thing. Inquisitor, are you going to check your Streamlabs or what?
Oh, I didn't even see one. Thank you, Mr. Scott. Have you guys seen Trump's new ad campaign? An old lady sitting watching late night news about riots, and a Biden clip saying that he agrees with defunding the police. Then a burglar breaking in. The lady tries calling the cops and getting an answering machine. No, I have not.
No, I haven't. But oh my god,
sounds pretty funny.
Whew. I like when presidential campaigns go subtle. That's great. Jesus fucking Christ. You see the angle they're going to play. Now, let's see how angry Screen Rant gets here. This article, Dynamite CEO allegedly worked with Comicsgate in secret. What?
No.
I mean, they say that in such a way that, like, I haven't read the article, but I'm fully expecting it's like Comics Hate, the well-known group of blah blah blah. It makes me wonder what does Screen Rant have against Nick Bukhari?
Clearly, all his wrong think, Polly. Jeez.
Well, yeah, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but it's like, why are you looking to trash the guy? Because you're not going to write like Liam McGuire here, and especially Screen Rant. These motherfuckers aren't going to write on anything about Comicsgate unless they're looking to lambast somebody over it. So what the hell?
What gets me is this isn't exactly new information. This has been going on for like 2 years.
Right. This is old stuff that Ethan Van Sciver had talked about this a while back, right? And then he's repeated it again on his channel. So why are you angry at the CEO of Dynamite, Screen Rant? Because I think that's why you're bringing it up. Because you're hoping to smear him.
Why are you angry about it now?
Yeah.
I could tell you, but that'd ruin the surprise.
According to Comicsgate leader / spokesman Ethan Van Sciver, Dynamite Entertainment CEO Nick
Wait, okay, hold on.
Barucci.
Ethan is the spokesman now?
Oh God, when wasn't he? In terms of people labeling him as such, I mean, come on.
Oh wow. I personally thought that people, who were Comicsgate were individuals and could speak for themselves. But okay.
Well, it really depends who you ask, because he does have the nickname Caesar for a reason.
Yeah. But it's more than that. Remember, this is not amongst people that formerly supported Comicsgate in terms of its original 3 ideas or anything like that, or it is a brand or anything. This is Screen Rant talking. So when they're saying it depends on who's talking. Are they trying to make Ethan Van Sciver look bad, or are they trying to make your boy Zach Richard Meyer look bad? Because if they're talking about Richard,
why not?
Yeah, but if they're talking about Richard Meyer, they'll call him the creator of Comicsgate and head of Comicsgate. Doesn't make a difference. And longtime friend of notorious bigot Ethan Van Sciver, that sort of thing. Anyway,
yeah, point.
Dynamite Entertainment CEO Nick Barucci has been secretly working alongside the group, criticized by many as an online harassment campaign since 2018, a decision that has apparently urged Van Sciver to break his silence as to the extent of Barucci's support up to this point. The news comes a day after multiple artists and writers denounced Dynamite for working alongside Comicsgate. Comics
Dun, dun, dun.
Comicsgate is a campaign organized to combat what supporters viewed as forced diversity in the comic book industry. The campaign has preached that their mindset.
Preached?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going with the religious allegory now.
Mm.
Funny.
It's not like the people who denounce this stuff are the ones with the religious zealotry and with social justice and all that. But never mind, it's fine. What's going on, Pop-Tart? Where were we? The mindset about giving fans what they want in comics by making better books. However, the group has come under fire for multiple harassment campaigns against marginalized creators associated with the alt-right, exorbitant prices for their individual books, and failure to deliver crowd-funded projects on time.
That last one's definitely true.
The last one is, yeah.
Where's my red rooster, Brightweiser?
Yeah, I was gonna say Brightweiser is one very important one that you keep on pointing out.
You know, I gotta say, any comic that I've bought, they were all on time except for Cyberfrog.
Oh, most of mine have been late.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, I know Red Rooster is the big egregious one because Brett Weiser did some really shady shit by going behind the backers' backs and selling it at Walmart before fulfilling the IndieGoGo. That's the major one.
Yeah, that was dirty. That was very, very dirty, especially because he's had 2 years to finish that. And instead, he used the money to get himself set up with a company, get other books done, and then sell it to Walmart. Issue 2 is already out in the store. The original trade paperback was only supposed to be the equivalent of like 3 issues. And they're still not going to get it until after the 3rd issue hits the stands at Walmart, if he's on time. Which will be like September, so it'll be like 2.5 years before they get their book.
I was gonna say, which, you know, again, given the track record, is not going to be the case. So it's not going to be on time, but he's gonna sell it to Walmart pretty quickly. You can bet that. Just saying.
Yeah, let's see where this goes. It's a long article. Let's hope they get to the point quickly. Yeah, I think they do right here. On Sunday, top Dynamite talent, including Mark Russell, announced that they were ending their relationship with the company following public support of Comicsgate properties on various covers for Dynamite Comics. Dynamite has ended such projects, but Van Sciver revealed to have allegedly worked together for years, a relationship intentionally kept quiet to protect the publisher and Barucci directly. Van Sciver revealed on a live stream that Barucci, I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that right, sorry if I'm not, initially reached out to him as a friend following Van Sciver's dismissal from DC Comics. He had worked in the industry for fucking years. Is that so hard to fucking believe?
Dismissal? Ethan quit.
Yeah, he did.
No, it
was a DC firing, you know.
Yeah, it was quit or you're fired sort of situation.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought that he left on amiable terms.
No, they paid out the rest of his contract. It was like, get out of here. Yeah.
Look, the only thing this really reveals it from all this is that EVS actually hasn't really left the industry because he's been working with Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he's been kind of lying people on that front. Like he's always saying he's an outsider and he's not part of the industry, but really he kind of is because he's working with a major publisher.
Well,
otherwise, this is shit people have known for like 2 years because Dynamite did the fulfillment for Cyberfrog.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they also were apparently behind those ribbit coins that he was selling, and he gets a lot of his stuff printed through them from the sound bit.
Yeah, no,
so
it's not an accident.
Plus, he did a bit.
It's not an accident. Yeah, it's not an accident. They got the Vampirella cover up here. I can't believe they're still holding on to that fucking story, but you know. Oh well.
They're milking that fucking book for all it's worth. Look, because all these variant covers they're doing are Vampirella issue 1. So that story has already paid for itself a dozen times over from whatever they paid Christopher Priest and the artist. Because they're just slapping a new cover on it every time. Shit, that thing's probably on standby at the fucking printers. And several comic skaters before this did covers for it. Well, a couple at least. Because Van Sciver did a cover for it that the chick who sucks at drawing, Star Wars girl, I think her name was. She did a cover for it. Well, who was the other one? Billy Tucci. Somebody else in that group did one, and or there was two others, I don't remember. But Cecil's was doing this one. That's what blew it up. This is a bunch of like late to the game kind of stuff.
I'll say I thought most of this is coming down because of the whole Cecil thing. They had
Yeah, that's what really kicked this off.
yeah, they had who was it? Vampirella, and who was the other one that was on that cover?
Um, uh, yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Another one of their properties, though.
Yeah.
Or it might have been Heather Swain from Cyberfrog.
Well, no, Heather Swain and one created by Malin are the replacements.
Oh, okay.
It's essentially the same cover, just they replaced Vampirella with Heather Swain, and then the other girl with a character created by John Malin.
Oh, yeah. What fucking dumb. It wasn't even a good looking cover. That's what gets me.
It was okay. It's it's the same sort of like shock value covers that were popular in the 90s, but are ho hum in the post 2000s.
Yeah, well, Dynamite does this for a lot of places, and this is actually an industry thing that most people don't really pay much attention to. But if you go to a store and they have a store exclusive cover, that's what these are.
Mm.
They're just not calling it that. But you basically go in and say, look, we've got an artist lined up. We're going to have him do a cover. We want to buy 500 copies of this book. And then you give Dynamite the money. They'll print them up, and then you sell them. And you keep whatever proceeds come through. That's all these are, is the store exclusives. They're just not calling it that. They're running it through IndieGoGo. That's the only difference. Just buy a set number and then sell them through your store. You could do this with a lot of these smaller publishers. So I know Image does it too for some of their properties, and they'll work it out. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see what the big deal is. This is hyperbolic whining that 2 years too late to the game.
Yeah, and say it seems a lot of these people are are getting really butthurt over something that's pretty fucking mundane.
Yeah, and they're getting butthurt, I think, because they just found out about it. And yeah, way to get yourself all worked up over nothing. Some of these people, and I read Dynamite books occasionally. I've done reviews on them. And they really shouldn't quit their day job, because they probably need this work because no one else is going to hire them. They're not very good. Most Dynamite books are crap.
There was a couple of Dynamite books that Games Workshop had for the 40K stuff that came out, and those were actually really good. But a lot of those people that worked on that were other indie artists, like was it Garth. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Garth Ennis?
Yeah, Garth Ennis. He used to work with Dynamite a lot, and
yeah,
a whole bunch of other people. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Dynamite don't have the clout to be able to turn people away.
Right? Look, they can't afford to lose what little talent they've got, because they don't pay well, from what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't really afford to lose too many people. But at the same time, the people working there really shouldn't be threatening to walk off because they're not very good. So it's a symbiotic relationship. When you don't have a lot of money, you buy what you can, and the people that are getting those jobs are generally not the ones that are real good. But what sucks is Dynamite has some great properties.
Mm-hmm.
They've got $6 Million Man, Vampirella, Red Sonja. They've got a ton of really good licenses, and most of their books blow when they could be really good.
It's so weird to me to think that they have Red Sonja, but Marvel has Conan.
Yeah, there's some weird licensing stuff going on. I find that kind of dumb. And if they were smart, they'd be trying to do a crossover with Marvel.
Yeah.
Do a Red Sonja Conan miniseries, because Marvel's Conan blows.
Yeah.
It's so boring.
Like Marvel Comics lately.
Yeah. Oh man, it's bad. If you want to read a good Conan book, read The Sumerian from Ablaze. Way better.
Well, if you want to read good Conan books, just read the books. Don't read the comics.
Yeah, pretty much. Sorry, Polly, I kind of walked all over you there.
No, not at all. I was just reading about the
It's good that we got informed about Dynamite.
yeah. Just reading about
I'm just
Dynamite
pissed
and
off.
their Cecil's IndieGoGo coming under review, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. Let's
Yeah, they've put all of them because there was somebody else that was doing one too. Mindy Wheeler. She was doing a Dynamite cover as well.
because of this thing.
And
That's crazy.
yeah, they're going to cancel all of them, I think, which is dumb. Either that or they're waiting until it blows over. But they've already said on Twitter they're canceling the Cecil one. Too much controversy. That I think that Dynamite should probably just let a bunch of these people walk away and hire new talent because they've got too many good properties that fuck those guys. You can pay other people to come in and do similar crap to what you're already publishing. You've got all these great licenses, and there's plenty of people that will buy the books just to get them. Mark Russell is not that good of a writer. He's okay, but he's very, very much an SJW.
You know, but look, Russell. Look, anyone can take a fucking stand, but it makes me wonder what the fuck's going on with Russell's other business opportunities that he had on the horizon or in talks for. I mean, who takes a stand and fucking walks the fuck out on a fucking paying job when you've got no other potential employment going on over some Comicsgate stuff that the CEO of the company you're currently working for had an association with a guy on a Comicsgate guy, and you're going to walk out over that? I think you're walking out over that because you had a fucking prospect, a really strong one. He's going to pop up somewhere else really quick if I were to take a fucking guess. And I think he just wanted to make a big fucking explosion with the woke crowd while doing it. What better way to get his name published up everywhere or talked about everywhere, especially all over Twitter? I mean, yeah, okay, everyone's got their fucking scruples and morals, but to the detriment of your ability to feed yourself? I don't know. Over something so tenuous as you're the CEO of the company you're working for. Did you even talk to the guy on a regular basis? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like you were betrayed by a friend. It's some guy who's multiple levels ahead, over and above you in the company, had an association with somebody else that you probably don't know in the form of Van Sciver. So, like I said, I think Russell's going to pop up somewhere really quick because he already had a prospect on the go. That's my guess.
He's probably got an idea in his head for like an image book that he's going to do or whatever, and he thinks it's going to be great, but it'll be at best mediocre. Bianca pointed out that yeah, it was Billy Tucci was the other one I'm thinking of. Cecil, Billy Tucci, Mindy Wheeler, and Star Wars.
Yeah, let's see this. Let's see what this article has to say about that. After Dynamite Comics canceled Cecil's big cover, Dynamite Entertainment IndieGoGo placed under review. As said, after Dynamite Comics canceled Cecil's big cover, a variant of Vengeance of Vampirella #1, it appears Dynamite Entertainment IndieGoGo campaigns have all been placed under review, as the guys are talking about. Dynamite Entertainment had a number of IndieGoGo campaigns still running, including Cecil's big cover, despite them announcing that it had been canceled. Other campaigns included Billy Tucci, Maria Santapo's upcoming Miss Fury graphic novel. It was also placed under review. Frank Cho's Red Sonja limited edition cover. Holy fuck. Look at all this. And there's the Star Wars Girl one. Not only are the campaigns under review, but you're unable to contribute to them, but they're also unsearchable on IndieGoGo. I, the author of this article, attempted to search Miss Fury and Billy Tucci and Maria Santapo's graphic novel, and it does not show up. Fuck! But is it their search engine may suck, but is it worse than BitChutes?
Yeah, it's way worse.
I don't know. BitChutes is pretty fucking bad, man.
Yeah, no, IndieGoGo search options. I've never had good luck. If somebody doesn't give me a link to something, I'm not going to see it.
Jesus Christ, that's so weird. Like, and unnecessary.
Well, it may be my bad spelling or something, but
no. I mean, all of them coming under review like that. Talk about overreaction. It's just
I can see why they did it. I think they are overreacting. But as things are now, a lot of these smaller companies, Dynamite's like what, 5th biggest one.
Mm-hmm.
They're struggling really bad. Like if you go through and look at what Dark Horse is releasing, they've canceled a lot of titles. Dark Horse is about to collapse. And Dynamite might be in a bad position. These IndieGoGos have been really good for them. And this working with the Comicsgaters has been really good for money because there's a lot of money there. So if they're smart, they'll put the stuff under review for a while, cancel the CISA one, and let the any other ones go through quietly in a month or two. Because from what I've heard, there is no way to cancel an ongoing IndieGoGo before the 30 days is up.
I'm not so sure about the Dark Horse being comparable to compare them. Mainly because I think Dark Horse has its own issues. Number one, and chief among them being the fact that all of their extremely popular things that they used to have in the 90s is all owned by Disney now.
A lot of it is, yeah.
I'm gonna say they have, you know, they had Star Wars, which was now, you know, run by Marvel. They had Aliens and Predator, and now because they bought Fox, are owned by Marvel. It's
Yeah, but the licenses are still with Dark Horse for now.
well, I don't know about that because they came out with an article saying that they're going to make an Aliens book in Marvel, aren't they?
I haven't seen that.
I mean, Dark Horse has got bad problems though in terms of, I mean, yes, their IPs and so forth, and Marvel's like double publishing them with Star Wars stuff. Yeah, but I mean, they've got big cash flow problems. Like it's all inside baseball, behind the scenes, nightmare problems of revenue coming in and not being able to make up for their costs. It's just straight up business problems that Dark Horse has.
Yeah, and their health insurance thing really screwed them pretty bad because they started covering like transition surgery.
Yeah, for the one person.
Yeah, and it was apparently that was a massive cost thing because it drove their insurance way up.
Yeah, that they had to go to an extended insurance carrier, and it pushed up everyone else's coverage to the point where they had to get rid of people because they had to lay off people because they could no longer afford to offer it at the same rate. Like, we can't up everybody's health insurance premiums by like $400 a month, which is what we're gonna have to do. So we're gonna have to lay off a few people, so and subsidize that cost. So everyone's health insurance is only going up by like $100 a month. People kind of, I think, get confused. Like Dark Horse is a long-standing company, right? But there's not that many people that work there. It's like 25 people that work there.
Well, I think there's a lot less now, but yeah, they canceled a lot of projects that were supposed to be slated.
Yeah.
But
like I said, they got big revenue problems, man. They can't afford to pay the talent to produce the product, much less get it out. They
lost the Star Wars license. They lost the Conan license. And those were their two biggest ones. Aliens and Predator are their last remainings. And they have Stranger Things, but that apparently isn't selling well. So most of the stuff that's upcoming is like reprints and trade paperbacks.
Yeah.
That they announced they're going to do a mini series of the original Aliens script, the original version of it. So that might be interesting, but I don't think it's going to be enough to bring in the revenue. They've been kind of late on stuff lately. So they've got their own issues, but Dynamite is making good moves if they were going to go with the Comicsgaters because there's a lot of money there. So
there's hype and interest there, which there isn't for a lot of other stuff. Like people are excited, they talk about Comicsgate material and so on and so forth. That's stuff that you guys are working with, especially like Aliens and Predator. If you're not coming out with good stuff, I mean, it's kind of old material and there's not a current movie to latch it onto or anything like that. Like in terms of excitement and hype out in the marketplace, I can understand why they'd want to get with some Comicsgate stuff, but that makes you anathema in the industry, you know? But Dark Horse, I have to fucking bring up the point. It's a sad thing because that's where Stan Sakai chose to set up shop with Usagi Yojimbo. And it's like, there's a successful comic and it will keep going. And that's a great thing when he set up that contract with them. But now they're going through all of this garbage and it's like, oh, Stan, Jesus, no.
That's why he went to IDW, though.
What's that?
That's why he went to IDW instead of staying at Dark Horse.
No,
It's kind of funny. I actually went down a pretty weird rabbit hole here while you guys are sitting there talking about all this.
Mm.
Did you know the first Alien comic book ever wasn't at Dark Horse? It was at Heavy Metal.
Really?
Yeah.
Of all places.
It
All
was. It was a. It's a comic book. Here, hold on. Let me bring this up. This isn't my pitch, but fuck it.
Going online, Patriot.
Hate this. There we go. There you go. Heavy Metal presents Alien, the illustrated story.
Archie Goodwin and Walt Simonson. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, look at the interior art in this, man.
Hold on. Let's see. Quick.
It was published in 1979.
Wow.
That really? That
Yep.
quick after the.
I mean, it's just the story of the movie,
Right.
but holy shit! I mean, look at it. I say, here you go, where they find the alien ship there.
Huh.
Yeah, it really is just a point for point storyboard, isn't it?
Can the audience see this?
Yeah.
Man, it's awesome. Look at this. It's so good. But yeah, I say this is technically the first Alien comic book.
Huh.
It was 1979. It was from Heavy fucking Metal of all places.
Crazy. That's when screen adaptations were literally just that. It's the movie.
Well, back then, VHS tape was like $80. So
Tomb Raider. Inferno's original script explicitly confirmed Lara Croft is gay.
Original script, not the script they actually went with, though.
The subtext of the new Tomb Raider video game series almost became text with the Inferno comic book miniseries. The writer Jackson Lansing confirmed that Lara Croft was supposed to be gay in a Twitter exchange with Gail Simone. God damn it.
Of course, fucking Gail is part of this. Of course,
it's like wherever she pops up, she's like an imp or beautiful blueberries. It's just a curse. She's a harbinger of bad things,
That's why I sent you this article, because it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna leave the surprise there.
Simone, who is no stranger to the Tomb Raider universe and wrote the first volume of the ongoing series, theorized that Laura and her friend Sam Nourishmishmer were 1,000% gay for each other after playing the first installment of the new trilogy. They were so gay for each other.
So stunning, so brave, so rich.
So gay.
Gail.
So fucking gay.
We tried so hard to make it canon, Lansing wrote in response. We had an entire issue in Tomb Raider Inferno dedicated to Laura going through a toxic drug trip and finally fully understanding her feelings for Sam. So she took drugs and realized she was gay? Okay.
Well, it's better than Jean Grey being like, Bobby Drake's gay now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the worst part, right? Remember that page, the few panels where it happened, where Jean Grey's just like, Bobby. He's like, what? Bobby. He's like, you're right, I'm gay. She just kind of like questioned him because she could sense it in his mind that he had been thinking about dicks his whole life, apparently.
Oh, lazy.
Yeah.
Look, this is just Rough City Podcast is right. This is just another way of destroying something that you loved as a kid, that you may have touched yourself to while you had her crawling on her hands and knees.
Dude, she was the first digital girl to get a spread in Playboy.
Yeah, and they're like, men like this, we must destroy it. So anything you liked in your childhood needs to be obliterated and flipped around to meet whatever of the moment nonsense they could come up with.
And see, okay, here I feel like there does need to be at least a little bit clarification. It's not specifically because the person they're saying is gay, right? That's not the issue. The issue is that this is coming from nowhere, and the reason why is because it carries an implication. It carries an implication of her being gay, to sit there and say, see this, straight men, you can't have this. You already have everything. You straight men are the problem. So because of that, that is why the fact that everyone needs to be the gay in some sort of way, that's the implication that is that leaves a sour taste in your mouth. And that is the reason why people don't like seeing this stuff. Well, this character is gay. It's 1,000% gay. Gail, go fuck yourself. Lord knows no one else is gonna fuck you. Go fuck yourself.
I'm pretty sure that she just hates men.
Yes.
Or is out
and
to make a
does it-
constant point. I mean, that wouldn't really be outside Gail Simone's
no,
wheelhouse, right? It just
I think that she does hate men. It makes sense with how she acts and the things that she says and does. She hates men and does these sorts of things to get back at men.
Well, he ends that tweet by saying, by the time it went to publishing, their culminating kiss had become a friendly hug. Lansing said that the issue would have been featured a kiss between Sam and Laura, but the final product only featured a hug between the two. He wouldn't specify the reason for the change. Who the fuck cares? It's
We all know the reason was somebody over at the was it Capcom owns Tomb Raider. So some
No.
rational human being that works at the licensing company was like, "Oh fuck no, we are not losing our entire fan base because of your stupid comic book." Which, by the way, that book sucks.
does it, you know what doesn't even make fucking sense about it is that, like, okay, she had been heterosexual her whole life and been interested in men, and then she has this hard drug trip, and her close friend, she realizes that she's got feelings for her and is attracted to her. Okay, that would make her bi, like Devil Fruit Zero says. So I would believe bi, yeah, but it's Gail Simone, so she's got to make the point as hard as possible and saying, "Oh, 1,000% gay." Like, oh, fuck, of course.
Yeah.
You made your mistake. There's bisexual women still like men.
I say, yeah. Devil Fruit Zero brought it up. It was originally Eidos Entertainment from 1996 to 2009. Square Enix bought it, and
Square Enix, whatever. They all blur together. I don't know anything about
2010 to now. Well, that I'm the guy here that has to point that out because I am the gamer amongst you two.
nerd.
Fucking nerd with your nerd hair.
Look here. Star Trek producer Picard Avica Goldsman. What's happening culturally right now will be reflective in season 2. They're going to make Star Trek Picard season 2 full of like rah-rah social justice. Who's surprised? Moving on.
Oh, so wheelchair bound Captain Picard is going to throw Molotovs at what, a Starfleet building now?
I mean,
I don't understand this fucking.
Of course, it's fucking stupid. I don't even want to talk about it. It's like I'm not even remotely surprised. It's just fucking great. And then, so Marvel Unlimited. So Marvel, attempting to demonstrate that they are not a money hole for Disney, starts Marvel Unlimited, which is their little digital comics shebang, and they put out this advertising campaign over on Facebook regarding it. And of course, they put Captain America front and center, but there's no Steve Rogers. Like, wait, what? Like, well, why would there be? There it is. Marvel Unlimited sale. 27,000 plus digital comics are now available. And there's, so they, you know, there it is. Captain America, right? Those are 5 women. Well, yeah, Captain America. And, okay. Like, you know, there's samples, right?
One of them was British.
Yeah, there's.
He's not even American.
So there's Captain America number 1, Captain America number 2, Captain America number 3, number 4. And you know what? This pisses me off, and I'll tell you why. Peggy Carter's Captain America I could see because there's a connection. I can even see Falcon becoming Captain America in a certain way. Super Soldier Serum's got to fit in there somewhere. Peggy Carter gets Super Soldier Serum, blah, blah, blah. I mean, but even this awesome cover, they got to put like, Jesus Christ, really?
Cartoony.
Yeah. Like, what's up with the fucking Steven Universe Wolverine? You fucked up what it could have been an awesome anyway.
Well, that's not even the original Blink because I'm not even gonna get into that. We'll get in trouble. So yeah, it's just bullshit. It's more social justice.
These are like, you know, Captain America is on, like Steve Rogers is on our 616, as well as a bunch of others. But in the Marvel multiverse, there's been lots of Captains Americas, and they, of course, when they're going to promote Captain America to promote the new Marvel digital service, they do so with Captain America because it's a well-known character, and there's no Steve Rogers, because why would there be? Fuck,
an evil white man. Give me a break, dude.
No. I mean, they probably have a hard enough time with Peggy Carter. I mean, she's a straight cis white woman. Ugh.
Oh, I bet they scissored at the end.
That's why. But they have several POC women here. It's fine. See,
well, of course.
Yeah, they got it.
I bet this one's a lesbian.
So yeah, I mean, that's the whole story. It's like, what are you guys doing, and why? Like, what's the thinking? There's the original tweet where it's like, read Captain America and all of Marvel's epic comics for just $60 a year, and people are looking at this and going, Captain America, what the fuck is all? What? Who are these people?
Where is he?
Where is he? Yeah. Like I said, I'm not even like the multiverse. Yeah, it's a huge thing. You'd think you'd include 616 Prime Captain America, like amongst them at least, but no, not at all. Keep waiting for that Phantom audience. It'll come eventually. Madam Winter says, I'm pretty sure they made Peggy bi. Yeah, I don't doubt that they will make Peggy bi.
It's the whole thing, you know, it's so fucking transparent about some of the sort of stuff, and all it does is alienate your audience when you do shit like this, because the people who would actually want to subscribe to that, you know, if you sit there and you advertised it with, like, you know, old comics from the 60s, yeah, even, you know, people like me who weren't alive in the 60s would sit there and say, fuck yeah, I want to read those comics in a readily and easily available format that I can just go online and, you know, find the comics and read them. Fuck yeah, why not?
Yeah, because you can't afford the originals, so why wouldn't you want to at least check out the digital version for like $60? Yeah, I'd be fine with that. But no, they got to give us this woke shit that nobody likes, no one has ever liked. And its sales were garbage then, and you're pushing it for this new thing. You're fucking stupid. What are they thinking?
Totally not an AVG, AVGN ripoff, guys. Totally not. You're not a game dude there, Jack. The angry video game nerd is very popular online. One of his most popular catchphrases was, "What were they thinking?" So,
oh, I'm not aware of this.
I know.
That's a pretty common phrase anyway. So I'm gonna say that guy's copying me because I'm probably older than him. So fuck that guy.
Yeah, you probably are. Oh. No, James Rolfe seems like a cool guy.
Don't know him. I know who the game dude is. Somebody talked about. I think Deadwing Dorks mentioned him.
Oh, yeah. He more than mentioned him.
Yeah,
he did the full.
He had a whole stream on him. It's great.
Okay.
With his fucking, like, talking about going through a relationship with dinosaur toys out in the fucking wall.
Oh yeah, that's the dude. Yeah.
I love a game dude. Come back, game dude. We need you.
The Ghost of Tsushima. I will Quiz insists on calling it the Ghost of Tushy, but I'm not going there. Is being praised by Japanese critics. Now, this is Kotaku, and fuck Kotaku. I mean, Gamergate failed.
Yeah.
Come to terms with it. In terms of ethics and journalism, blah, 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 y'all failed. Okay, I wish you'd succeeded. Don't get me wrong. But they're still doing the same thing they always have been.
Well, Kotaku is going to slowly bleed to death because they are irrelevant. You should see their page through numbers at post Gamergate. They get almost no traffic.
Well,
Holly, I've told you this before. Your objective standard, and you can't see the air quotes, but they're there. That is colonialist. And this is a decolonized article by a decolonized site.
Well, it's funny. We have a guy, speaking of colonists, Brian Ashcroft, living off in Osaka, Japan. Colonist! Fucker, what are you doing?
Where are you living in Japan?
Oppressing them with
Gaijin?
your white privilege.
Yeah, Gaijin, go home.
I'd like to go out there and oppress some Asians. What's up, ladies?
I mean, this story's everywhere. Kotaku, why not? Of all the articles, you could pick one. You could go through Twitter and all the people going, "Oh my God, the American company has no right to be." He starts his article by saying this: often, when foreigners bring Japan to life, and we know who they mean when they say foreigners. I don't think they're complaining about South Korean gaming companies. You know what I mean? Often, when foreigners bring Japan to life, they don't quite hit the mark. Sometimes their vision of the country is eye-rollingly egregious.
Oh my! Oh, a good thing my fainting couch is nearby.
Subfunctional. But sometimes they portray it in a way that even the Japanese praise. Oh my God. According to early reviews in Japan, Ghost of Tsushima is an example of the latter. A handful of biggest Japanese print publications have posted their reviews, and it's great. We like it. It's a great game. All the gameplay that I've seen looks fucking awesome. Makes me kind of wish I was a fucking gamer. I mean, everyone loves this fucking game. The only people fucking complaining, like, I've heard people talk about, okay, there's these bugs, but they're not a deal breaker. They're just, whatever. There's problems, I guess. I watched a couple different reviews of the game. Not exactly problems, just some of the open world stuff that you can get bogged down in running around can be a little bit annoying, but that's not really a criticism of the game. It's just discussing the style of it. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yeah. Holly, I'm going to have to disagree with you here. I have a rule for my ladies and my video games. You're not allowed to have bugs.
Gross. Thank you, Pete.
Clean out the
Thank you, Pete, for the $10 donation. This doesn't have to go towards replacing your potato. You have the blessing to put it towards boats and hoes or hookers and blow. Well, it won't get me much blow, but I do know some inexpensive hookers.
It might get you an 8-ball, though.
What? Where the fuck are you? What do you live in fucking Bogota? Where the fuck are you getting an 8-ball for $10?
Dude, heroin's dirt cheap. Are you kidding me?
Jesus Christ. Anyway, so we can all rest assured that Quiz doesn't buy cocaine. I mean, fuck. Anyway, everyone loves this game except for the angry 4% of Twitter. There's the story, guys. It's all a bunch of woke white. Do you guys remember the meme of the SJW putting the hand over the POC's face and saying, "No, be quiet. I will speak on your behalf." That's this. All the complaints about this game come to life. It's an American company doing something other than like Red Dead Redemption, which they still find fucking reasons to complain, right? Because the way the suffragettes are displayed, or the way that Native Americans are displayed, or the way that it's almost like it's their fucking career to do this online. Whatever. It's a great fucking game. Fuck off.
Pete said he went out to buy it, but it was sold out today. That doesn't surprise me. It looks really good.
That says a lot.
I'm really looking forward to it. I want to get it in play.
Jordan said the bad guys are the Mongolians.
Mongolians, yes.
Yeah.
It's during the invasion of when the Mongols tried to invade Japan.
You said it wrong. I'm sorry. It's Mongol.
Mongolians. Mongolians. But that's anyway. I look forward to when the kamikaze comes in and wipes them all out. If they're going to try to be historically accurate.
Okay, two things. One of the complaints that I did hear was about the Mongol hordes, where they're like, "You're calling them the hordes." That's what the fuck. That's
what they're called.
That's what they're always fucking called. They're also called the Germanic hordes when they invaded of Rome. I mean, it's fine. Sometimes they're called tribes because there's separate ones, Visigoths and so forth. But I mean, overall, the hordes. What? And more to the point, the complaint is it's a classic example of othering. People were complaining on Twitter that they were othering the Mongol hordes.
Look, Polly,
the Mongols tried to invade Japan.
Well, they were showing them in all of their savagery, and it's like, the enemy at the gates coming in to attack the civilized place. They were classic othering alien. Well, yeah, I know, but
that's a colonialist lie. All minorities got along in peace and harmony until Whitey showed up.
Oh,
what?
So that is
the Chinese.
So the second thing is that Jordan says, "Did you see the tweet about the Asian American crying how the whites went behind their back to Japan?" This is what this guy says. Okay, whose last name is Choi, CHOI. This is a Chinese American man, okay, who gets on Twitter and actually never mentions the word Japanese. He says, why is it that as an Asian American, we always have whites going behind, we will have whites going behind our back to other Asians to ask them what they think instead of asking the Asians right in front of them? They're the same reason they didn't go ask a Filipino what they thought, man. They're Asian too. How much more broad do you want to get? They didn't ask anybody in India. They didn't ask the South Asians. You're Chinese, and you're Chinese American. Why would somebody come? You would call it a microaggression and racist if somebody came up to you and said, hey, guy who was born and raised in America, but you're Asian, what do the people in Japan think of this video game? Think of the outrage over it.
What? Yeah, I was saying that when did that's a really good point, Polly. When did that sort of thing become acceptable? If someone came up and said, "Hey, Asian guy, what do you think of this Japanese game?" and you sit there and say, "Well, I'm Chinese," you'd be fucking offended, and rightfully so. Rightfully so, because you're sitting there saying all Chinese people look alike, or all Asian people look alike. That's essentially what you're saying. It is. You can't have it both ways.
No, you can't. But that proves it's the core. That's the prime example of you are just complaining. Because if it was one way, you complain. If it's the other way, you did complain. There's
Look, complaining is a decolonized method of problem solving, and you colonizers don't seem to get it. You can have it both ways. It's called hypocrisy. That is okay. Really you're an angry bitcher. If you sit around bitching, like the Witcher, he goes around fighting monsters. Bitchers go around and fight microaggressions. Only ones they see, not real things that affect real world problems. They just go around and create these phantom monsters. They're tilting at windmills. To use a colonizer book reference. So you need to just step back, Mr. Colonizer, and take your Eurocentric ideas of how complaining works and let this beautiful, pure soul fix these problems that have been created by your colonialist mentality.
Well, you know what? Part of me in my imagination actually gets a little bit sympathetic for this guy in a way. Like I picture Choi sitting around going, well, exactly. I'm Asian. Well, and this is what he came up with. Like it's kind of sad in a really pathetic way. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, doing the nobody cares what I think. Yes, no one cares what you think. Shut up and go away.
So everyone was asking me what I thought about the whole Hong Kong thing. Now the video game's about Japan. Well, I'm Asian too. Well, anyway, let's have some fun. Catwoman number 23.
Yes.
Quiz knows what's going on. Here, I want to get the whole page in here. Just shrink this one.
Happens. Slays in the jungle.
Now, I think Jack and Quiz know why I've got this.
Oh yeah.
Love
Blake Northcott.
This glorious issue here. It's like, why would I care? Well, I'll tell you why I care. Because we're just gonna skip ahead to where the moment that we've all been waiting for finally happened. Come on, turn the page. Let's go. Hello. Potato.
Come on.
It's
not responding.
Yeah, you see that? Not responding. It doesn't want us to show. Come on, let's go. This is what happens when you try and do shit with a potato. We'll just wait it out. It's fine. It's fine. Can't keep me waiting forever. Remember? Well, I'm starting to think that it might be a conspiracy because there we go. Last week, I wasn't able to display comics at all. Remember, I didn't pitch last week at all.
Yeah.
And this is why I like CBR Reader. You know how fast it goes? This is, oh God, I really need to find a better reader. Okay, so here she is. She arrives. And who's there waiting to greet her? With the license plate Blowhard? It's Snowflame!
Blowhard.
Fucking Snowflame returns to comics. For those of you who don't know, he's the supervillain powered by cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
It has been... When did that comic come out?
That was, what, the late 80s?
Yeah, it's been forever. And they don't even try and hide the fact or play it around with it, like make it like tongue-in-cheek or whatever. They're just outright. The guy's a fucking cokehead. Your personal chauffeur is here, baby. The one and only Snowflame. And it's like, it's so meta, but and bad writing, but I'm just so happy to see Snowflame on the page again. They've got him dressed like Sonny Crockett from Miami Vice. I think he's even driving a Testarossa. That's so bad.
Let's say his first appearance was in October 1988 in New Guardians #2. He died in October 1988 in New Guardians #2. Yes, he's a supervillain powered by cocaine, and he dies in the issue he was introduced.
But did he? Because he's back.
Yeah, apparently not. Yeah.
And the first thing he says is like, "Hey, it's been a while," and she says, "At least a few decades." Oh, boo! Boo! What's your damage, Selena? You not happy to see me? Well, things changed, Stefan, but not your wardrobe, apparently. Just pointing out the fact he's dressed right out of 1987. I love it so much. You're looking well. Got everything you need, baby. A bitchin' ride, the threads, the tunes, and an unlimited supply of powder. Life couldn't be better. Holy shit! Like, just running with it, huh? Death suits you. Your obituary was tasteful, by the way, though a bit wordy. Thanks! I wrote it myself. The key to faking your death is explosions.
Yep.
That's a true story.
Yep.
By the looks of your operation, business is booming. But you're getting, I hear you're getting a rough time from the locals. And he goes, I give these rats everything they need. Food, clean water, fair wages. This place is totally harsh before I showed up. And they repay me by lying. He's great. Hold on. My men keep disappearing. And there's workers blaming it on some half-naked legend. Oh, wait a minute. Half-baked legend. Would have been better if it was half-naked. Yeah. We were talking about Selena Kyle. Maybe it was her, something. Yeah, it's because there's supposedly like a cat creature in the woods. Did you guys actually read this comic?
Not
No.
yet. No, I was waiting for this.
Yeah. It's like, I lived in Gotham long enough to know that sometimes the boogeyman. He is totally a blowhead, and you get the references. I love how it's got like a gold gun. Everything can be solved with a bullet or a bump. What did you just say? What did you do?
Well, yeah, I mean.
Speaking of bumps, want to get this party started before the auction?
Okay, wait, hold on. I gotta ask one very important thing. When he was first introduced here, did he hug Selena?
I think they were walking towards a hug, but I don't think he actually did hug her.
Okay, because I gotta wonder about that because
yeah, they hugged.
One of Snowflame's superpowers here is the cocaine touch. Apparently, just touching Snowflame is enough to get you high. It got the Florenic man high.
Really?
And he's not even human.
But sadly, in this comic, you don't see what happened in the original where he grabs 2 fucking fistfuls and full Tony Montana face plants in it. That's what I was hoping for, but, he does have 2 giant bags of blow along with big wads of cash in his glove box here.
Of course, yeah. As you do.
So, speaking of bumps, you want to get high, and she's like, it's 11 in the morning, and the last time I checked, it wasn't 1987. I think I'll pass. It's just like, I picture in the pitch meeting where they're talking about we're gonna have Snowflame come back. It's like, so are we gonna like hint around? No, go hardcore, man.
Yeah, right. Go full retard, man. It's great.
So it finally happened. It's like the return of Crystal Pepsi. Waited so long, and there he is, and he's a full-on cokehead. I love that they put him in the Sonny Crockett gear too, with the golden gun and bags of blow. Great stuff.
We love you, Blake Northcott.
Mm-hmm. You were the only one willing to, and we greatly appreciate your efforts, sir.
That's Chick.
Yes.
We greatly appreciate your efforts, sir. You can misgender anyone at any time. You got to be careful. We appreciate their efforts. So, pitches, gentlemen.
Yes.
I'm having a system issue.
No, that's fine. You can
Uh-oh.
go ahead and get started while you're getting your ones and twos together. Actually, I'm already set up because I've got comic capture thing. Yeah, so I'm pitching Nathaniel Dusk, private investigator. So this is a comic from 1984, a miniseries from 1984. Only ran twice, 2 Nathaniel Dusk stories, both 4-part miniseries. It's noir as fuck. If you find it, it's going to be so cheap. It's going to be in a dollar bin somewhere. You can buy it on Comixology. It's available. Great times, especially because of the art style that they picked to go with it. How can I describe it?
It does look pretty good.
It's like,
Looks,
you know what it kind
it's
of...
very similar to Mike Grell.
It's very sketchy, obviously, and intentionally, but it reminds me a lot of Meltdown. Remember Meltdown, Jack? The Havoc Wolverine thing? What's that?
I remember Nathaniel Dusk.
I mean, this obviously isn't the watercolor style that Meltdown was done in, but I don't know, just the sketchy look of it kind of reminds me of that, the style in general. It's a great fucking story. He is a private detective, full on in the Chandler style, Mike Hammer, etc. The story is basically that for this 4-part series, that he is with his woman and there is a killing that he starts to investigate and things go awry, and he never ends up solving the murder. But the why you're reading it is sometimes things get better. Maybe they'll break that way for you. I hope it is. Like the story is great. I mean, Jack, you've already read this, right? You said?
Yeah, I read it years ago.
You're reading it for like how the clues do not always lead somewhere, and that's what I like so much about the comic. It's not a 1, 2, 3 story. There's threads that are started that are never finished. They will bring up one person that he suspects to be behind the murder, and it turns out it's a dead end. Oh, it was wrong. Okay, well, next person. I would like to see more pulp style detective comics like that, because there's times where in an investigation in classic pulp noir stories that it's like one person absolutely looks like they're the villain behind everything, and not in a turnaround way. It just doesn't go anywhere. It's just a source for adventure and dialogue for the protagonist to have with various people that they encounter, and that's what you get with Nathaniel Dusk. I am a big fan of this. I had never even heard of it before, like a week ago, and I grabbed both 4-part series, and I love it. The flashbacks being done in this black and white style, it just works. Eminently readable. Simple murder investigation for a private detective. Classic story, but it's told very, very well. Highly recommended. So, yeah. See if I can press home and go back to the front page. No, I can't. And you know what that means? I need a better comic book reader. But in any case, Nathaniel Dusk. Read it. See, and I can't even turn back fast. They got to do this page turn effect that slows everything down. Fuck. Yeah. And whatchamacallit works great. CBR reader. CD display.
Yeah.
But
CD.
But it can't be windowed. It's full screen or nothing. Fuck.
Really?
Yeah. Try and window CD display. It won't. There's no option to do it. It auto full screens.
I have mine just dragging it around right now.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Okay. I'll try to see if I can help you out then.
Woo!
But woo! Into the void with you.
Hold on, that's the wrong share screen.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god,
Jack
we've lost Jack.
dropped. I'm sure he's probably restarting or something.
Okay, you start talking and I'll put you.
Okay. All right. So my pitch is story by Mark Andrieko and Andrieko. Art by Scott Morse. And in continuing on with our theme here, going to
Case Files, Sam and Twitch. I really like this this bit. For those not in the know here, Sam and Twitch are the police officers, the detectives that investigate all of the happenings, the goings on in the Spawn universe. So every time a supervillain ends up dead in the alleys of New York, the person whose desk it falls on is Sam and Twitch, and they have this sort of relationship with Spawn to not press too hard when it comes to his dealings and so on and so forth. But this is a story told now. The issues in particular I'm going to be talking about is issues 1 through 6 of Case Files Sam and Twitch. Because first of all, I really do like the art style. It's a little rough, but in my opinion, it looks very watercolory. It looks very pastel,
Mhm.
and I think it looks really well rendered. But if you notice one thing about this, you've got 3 panels here. You got one of Twitch here in his bathroom. Twitch, honey, are you done in there? Just a minute. And then another one where Twitch is looking rather forlorn, sitting on a bed. And then another one where Twitch is in fucking jail. And what this story is every single page is a continuation of 3 different stories that build on top of each other.
Hmm.
Now, the overall plot is this story up here is obviously the first bit of time that's happening. This is the second bit of time, and this is the conclusion, right? We learn in the top panels that Twitch's daughter gets murdered. We learn in this one that he goes to the funeral and then is suspected of being her killer. And in this one, it's pre-trial in prison, having to deal with the prisoners before he gets exonerated.
Mhm.
But it's the story told in 3 bits of a man's descent into despair because of the death of his daughter, the murder of his daughter, and being accused of her murder. It's a kind of a heartbreaking story, especially if you like Twitch. Twitch is a great character, always has been. I love the all of the interactions with Spawn between Sam and Twitch,
Mhm.
and this one in particular shows a really big spotlight on it. And it's it's a fantastic read. It's only 6 issues, but I've loved every minute reading. Case Files, Sam and Twitch.
I didn't even know this was a thing. What year is that?
I see. 2003.
Really? Fuck, that's cool. I mean, I love the characters of Sam and Twitch. And they were portrayed so well in the HBO animated Spawn series.
Oh, they were. It's so good.
Yeah. It's just a blast watching them interact with each other. The voice acting was fucking great for both of them.
Yeah.
Like they picked like somebody who sounded like a fat, husky, world weary, angry guy, and then Twitch the nerdy, anal retentive guy. Like, oh fuck yeah! If you haven't seen the HBO Spawn series, you should check it out. It's great stuff.
I love some of the dialogue between it. Like, when Sam can't hit the broadside of a barn with his gun, because your lack of accuracy is surely the gun's fault, sir.
And Jack has returned.
Just in time.
All right.
Good choice, Quiz. Look, I decided to go a little bit of a different way and recommend
No porn.
much to my great Oh, all right. Hold on. Let me switch. No, much to my surprise, I am recommending a Rob Liefeld book. I know, I'm shocked too. And that would, of course, be Snake Eyes Dead Game, issue 1.
Oh, this is a new one, isn't it?
Yeah, this just came out
Liefeldian.
this past week. I know, right? But look at the feet. They're not that bad.
Yeah, we still can't draw them.
No, but he's getting better. Maybe by the time he's 70, feet will be mastered. This is a 6-issue miniseries from IDW. The script is by Chad Bowers. The art and the story are by Rob Liefeld. a bunch of other people. I can't pronounce their names, but the basic premise is pretty simple. Snake Eyes is on a rescue mission, and that rescue mission leads to some shenanigans. Damn it! Why is my bitch? Hold on, let me stop sharing for a minute.
Fine.
Everything wants to fight with me.
Oh, the potato problems. I'm well aware.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I started telling a story. I know a friend of mine that's trying to build a fucking computer. So he slowly hobbles all the parts together, spends hours and hours trying to build the fucking thing after everybody swears that they're so easy to put together. Yeah, if you already know what you're doing, they are. And what happens? Oh, the fucking 2 ports on the motherboard are defective. Can you imagine you know how long it took him to find out? A long time. See, those are the kind of stories that scare the shit out of me. Make me want to buy a computer that's already built. Anyway.
It should scare you. No, Snake Eyes comes across this cult thing. The person that gave him kind of the mission referenced Dead Game, which, ooh, what's that? Well, it's of course a MacGuffin to get you to move the plot along. But it's got all these sweet fight scenes. This guy's called the Grave Master, and he's apparently like thousands of years old. He's just been summoned, and he got in a fight with a guy that wields a giant hammer who was a Norseman. And I think you can figure out that bit. Why is it only showing me a couple pictures? Okay, this is going to be annoying, but you get kind of the idea. I don't know why my images aren't loading properly, but there we go. There's some pretty solid art whenever somebody's in costume, but it's when they're not in costume, their necks look really weird and their heads look odd. But the art's really not that bad, I didn't think, especially for Liefeld. But it's just action packed. It's just straightforward adventure fun. They don't screw around a lot. Not a lot of like pointless drivel. Like nobody's sitting down having a meal discussing their feelings. Nah, it just cuts to the chase, and they're like, "Snake Eyes, you need to go fight this guy." And he's like, "I'm on it," and he runs out there and fights him. He doesn't actually say anything, mute, but it's got guest appearances by like Roadblock and Scarlet, and of course like fighting ninjas. It's pretty badass, and you'll notice a lot of these panels are hiding his feet.
And he's still doing that. Like, I mean, I see so many Liefeldian styles. Like, he still can't draw people with their hands holding swords.
No, he can't. But he is getting better proportionality. And look, the lack of pouches is amazing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's
right?
a definite lack of pouches, but if you go back to one of the previous things, he still has crotch issues.
I'm not looking at Snake Eyes' crotch,
you can't not
dude.
see the person's crotch, because if you go back, just keep going back, you'll see it. There's always material bunched up in their crotch. Like, see?
Well,
right?
yeah. I mean,
and then the previous one, like, if you like, look at the hands and the swords, guys. I mean, like, Liefeld it's been 20 years, bro. Fucking practice. I mean, see, look at all the material bunched up in his crotch. He's been doing this since fucking 95. Well, what is it with him?
Look, Snake Eyes is really well hung. So that's what the issue really is.
Gotta hide his bulge.
But I think he's gotten a lot better. Like, there's some great perspective shots and cool blood issues here. It's true. I mean, look at that. It's a pretty good framing.
He is getting better.
I don't really want to see that much crack, but
I don't know what's wrong with his elbow joints in that picture. But you know, yeah.
Well, it's Liefeld. You're lucky that looks this good. I think he's come a long way in 20 years. He still can't do swords with the fuck, but overall, I thought this was a lot of fun, and I was really impressed with it. I mean, it takes a lot for me to recommend a Liefeld book, but this was just so well paced, and I had so much fun reading it. It's such a bizarre premise too. Like, Snake Eyes has to go fight a supernatural menace because only a ninja could do it. Seriously, that's the premise. So he's a soldier and a ninja, so that gives him an edge up. But I thought it was fun. I got my money's worth out of it. It's a $5 book. I didn't feel cheated. And I thought, if I have to read a good book, so do you.
Yeah.
Because there's so much crap out there. And that's from IDW. They're struggling really bad. They just lost their executive producer guy, and he was kind of a douche anyway. But they really need the boost, and I'm glad to recommend something that's good and it's from a beloved property like GI Joe. The Snake Eyes is awesome.
Yes, he is.
Snake Eyes is one of my favorite GI Joes.
I'd like to think that they didn't overpay Liefeld because he's Liefeld, like that they needed the, star power.
I think this was one of those, would you like to do it? And he's like, yes. And they're like, we can't pay you much. I don't care.
It'll be a labor of love.
Can I actually do one little thing? It's a second book.
No. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I thought you were serious when you said no.
No, not really.
Okay. This is the Osiris path. Now, I liked Stargate back in the day. I don't know who did.
People
but
with
you're
good
all
taste.
monsters if you did.
How dare you?
No. Kurt Russell was awesome.
Yes, he was.
And James Spader, come on.
Yeah.
Both those guys,
Kurt Russell
no.
and James Spader. Fuck
Like
yeah.
James Spader, definitely not, and Kurt Russell's really overrated. But I'm sorry, you were talking about the
You just
Osiris
don't
path.
like him-
Your
you
life
just
makes
don't
me
like him
sad.
because you for some reason you don't like Less Than Zero. I thought that movie was great.
So this is from a company I never heard of called Behemoth. I may have actually read some of their books before, but I don't remember them. But imagine you're an archaeologist and you get sent into space for some reason on a mission they haven't bothered to tell you about. They're just like, you're going into space.
They
And then
don't
you
prepare
get there.
astronauts.
No, well, he's not an astronaut. He's an archaeologist. And this is in 1980. So they send him to the moon. And he's like, why am I going to the moon? And they're like, shut up and get in. And then shit breaks loose because apparently there's a secret fucking moon base with a secret space program. And they found something on the moon. And it's an Egyptian temple. But you're not alone because there's bad guys there. And look, obelisks that tell you stuff. And astronauts. And everything goes wrong and you start getting shot at. And you're like, oh my God, with explosions. And this guy's totally lost. He's like, I don't know what's going on. And nobody will tell you anything, but they have lasers.
They have like
It was this
underhanded laser cannons. I love it.
yeah. This was weird fun. It's really just about this archaeologist guy has no idea why he's going to the moon. They have an Egyptian temple, and he's like, what the hell is this? And then people start shooting at him. And the guy that recruited him, something bad happens to him. This is him over here. And he's not getting told anything because guess who was supposed to brief him?
Who?
So it's just this crazy adventure story, and it really felt a lot like Stargate. And I was like, this is how Marvel Comics used to be, where they just had fun stuff. And I wanted to recommend it, but I really liked the Snake Eyes book, so I thought I would try and pitch two of them and cheat. Yeah. But yeah, I really like this. I think if you get a chance to check it out, it's definitely worth it. It's not the greatest thing you're ever going to read, but it was fun. And whenever I find a fun book, I like to tell everybody about it. So
okay, so
check it out if you get a chance.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
So Jack pitches Snake Eyes #1 and Osiris Path one shot, and I pitched Catwoman and Nathaniel Dusk.
Oh, this is a miniseries there.
No, it's a mini. Okay, Osiris Path miniseries. But Quiz pitches one comic, like.
Or you want me to find another?
But
one?
I'm just saying.
Oh no! I pitched two. Remember, Alien 1975.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, he's
yeah,
right.
Okay, yeah, all right. I was about to call you a weak link, but you pulled it out at the end. Yeah, it's true.
Good save, Quiz. He knew this was coming, so he planned in advance.
Yeah, I say I did it first, motherfucker.
So 6 pitched comics in one episode. Holy fuck! It's a triple double header. Okay.
Yeah.
What was I going to say about? Oh, who knew Marvel Comics was doing Afrofuturism before anyone else? They found an Egyptian temple, and they was Kangs. They were ahead of their time.
Well, that was Behemoth.
Oh yeah, that's right. See, Jack threw me when he's like, Marvel Comics used to be like this. But yeah, Behemoth Comics.
Yeah, they used to be good.
Because they used
Yeah,
to
they
be
used
good.
to write fun comics and take chances on stuff. And this is the type of stuff I would have expected from a Marvel miniseries back in the late 80s, early 90s. before they went to shit. And yeah, that's what threw me off about it. Was I bought that on a whim, just thinking like, I'll review some more indie stuff because Marvel's been sucking balls lately. So I just picked one at random, and that's the one I picked, and I'm glad I did because it was fun. Like I said, it's not something that's going to be the greatest thing you ever read, but it was a lot of fun. And if you like Stargate, you're probably going to like this. It's really got that feel. And it takes place in 1980, which I thought was cool. It kind of lends a little bit more, I don't know, plausible misunderstanding of, to the ancient alien thing. Like, there's no internet or anything like that for somebody to have a conspiracy theory. So the guy was totally caught off guard, and you kind of get that impression. So yeah, I'm just saying I liked it.
Nice.
I almost felt left out because I didn't pitch too.
I just saw a picture of Silver Sable go by in the bottom right hand picture crawl that I got down there. Talk about an unused property.
Oh, they've made her garbage in Spider-Man.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like I explained those guys. You want everything to be about the women's, right? And you want strong, independent women. She runs her own fucking country. Why do you have to trashify your great properties or barely ever use them or leave them sitting in the dustbin? Fuck Marvel.
Holly, if you were a good writer, that would be true. But these aren't good writers. These are unimaginative people that follow a lemming cult and have to abide by certain rules. And some of those rules just involve shitty work.
Yeah, I mean,
because if you can't make it woke, you break it.
That particular picture comes from Silver Sable in the Wild Pack number 36. And it's like, what? I mean, that series ended in like, I don't know, 1998 or something. Like it only ran 35 issues. And so when they come up with a one shot, they don't make it a one shot. They make it issue 36. It's like, it just took us, 21 years to get around to it. It's fine. I thought that was kind of cool. And you have this moment of her, a bunch of neo-Nazis take over this ship that she's been hired to protect because she's an international mercenary, for those who don't know. And when they're like, Sig Heil! They're all yelling, and she flips around and double guns and starts shooting at him and yells, Heil no! And starts blasting. It was a great comic. They made her sexy, and she was kicking ass and all sorts of stuff. And so where's issue 37? Oh, it's
not going to happen. Right?
It.
They're like, she was too attractive, and that's a microaggression against me personally. So we have to cancel it.
Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Comic Book Curation episode number 92. I'm gonna say yes. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And thank you, Jack and Quiz, for being here. Especially thank everybody for their donations. Very generous. Helps keep the show going. And so we greatly appreciate it. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
Thanks to everybody for the donations. And check out my videos. I got a new one coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, check out Back Comic Reviews, where reviews happen. And I'm over on BitChute getting harassed because it's fucking BitChute.
If you can find him.
Yeah. If you type in polydub or poly_dub, you won't find me. So I don't know. I guess I should start putting those links in video descriptions, but I mean, that's what somebody who's like efficient and professional would do. So I don't know. I might get around to it. But holy fuck, it's a Wild West free-for-all over there on BitChute, man. It's crazy. In the meantime, follow us all on Twitter. Links are beneath in the description. We will see you there. And if not, next week, same time, same place, same channel. Have a good night, everyone.